I only follow the voice of God. One day, a young woman named Sophie faced a major decision about starting a new job. Her family and friends offered all sorts of advice, leaving her feeling confused. Should I really take this job? She wondered. Yet, deep inside, she couldn't ignore the gut feeling rising within her. In the end, Sophie decided to trust her intuition. On her first day at the new job, Sophie quickly realized she had made the right choice. She felt fulfilled and was soon recognized by her colleagues for her contributions. I made the right decision, Sophie thought confidently, though her friends later laughed and said that choice was brave, but maybe a little reckless. In the end, by continuously trusting her inner voice, Sophie achieved great success at work. She proudly realized, the courage to trust yourself is the best advisor. Do not be afraid, for God is guiding us. Tom, a leader in his company, was facing an unexpected crisis during a major project. His team was panicking, unsure of what to do. Tom thought deeply and remembered a reassuring thought: there is nothing to fear. We are doing what we need to do. Tom conveyed this message to his team, and soon everyone calmed down. The project was successfully completed. However, afterward, his team members joked, "Tom, you said, don't be afraid, but you were the one sweating the most." Through this experience, Tom and his team learned that the true essence of leadership is the courage to move forward, even in difficult situations. If I were afraid, how could I move forward? Alice was anxious the day before her performance. Her stomach was in knots as the fear of being on stage gripped her. What if everyone laughs at me? She thought, but there was no turning back. Determined, Alice stepped onto the stage and danced with all her might. To her surprise, the audience erupted in applause. Alice felt both shocked and overjoyed. Backstage, her friends said, "Wow, you looked so confident up there, even though you were scared." From then on, Alice continued to perform with growing confidence. She eventually became known as the fearless performer, admired by all for her courage to face the stage. Even the smallest act can change the world. Mark, a university student, decided to spend his weekends volunteering in his local community. He started by cleaning parks and delivering food to the homeless. At first, he questioned whether his small efforts would make any difference, but gradually, he felt a sense of fulfillment from his contributions. One day, a homeless man told Mark, "The food you brought saved my life." Mark was taken aback by the impact of his seemingly small actions and realized the true value of helping others. Mark continued his volunteer work, inspiring many others with his dedication. Do not lose hope. Light appears after the darkest times. John had founded a startup but was struggling. His business was failing, and his funds were running out. Friends and investors were giving up on him, and John felt overwhelmed with despair. Yet, he remembered the saying, "Hope should not be abandoned in the darkest hour." The following week, something miraculous happened. A major contract came through from a large company, reviving John's business. Reflecting on the situation, John laughed and told his friends, "Just when I was about to give up, hope was right around the corner." Victory comes to those who keep their faith. Emma had long dreamed of running a marathon, but she doubted her physical abilities. People around her also told her it was impossible. Yet, she refused to give up. With persistent training and unwavering faith, Emma finally ran the marathon and crossed the finish line. As she reached the end, her friends rushed over, exclaiming, "Emma, we can't believe it. You really did it." Smiling, Emma reflected, "When you have faith, anything is possible. When the time comes to fight, you must have the courage to move forward." Ken had been treated unfairly at work. He considered raising his concerns with his boss multiple times, but was always held back by fear. One day, Ken remembered the importance of standing up for himself and decided, "Now is the time to fight for my rights." Ken gathered the courage to speak to his boss, and his voice led to positive changes throughout the company, creating a better working environment. Later, his colleagues marveled, "We never thought you'd stand up so boldly." Ken felt proud, knowing that true courage comes from recognizing when to fight and following through. I am here, who else will stand with me? One weekend, Anna attended a local environmental event all by herself. She felt a little nervous, but she knew that someone had to take action. While many people thought someone else will do it, Anna took the initiative. As she planted trees at the event, another participant asked, "Did you come here alone?" Anna smiled and replied, "Yes, but someone has to start." Soon, many others were inspired by Anna's actions and joined in. Justice exists in action. Frank knew about illegal activities happening in his neighborhood, but was reluctant to get involved. He didn't want to be part of the trouble. However, as time passed, his sense of justice grew stronger. Finally, Frank decided to report the issue to the local police. Thanks to his report, the illegal activity was stopped. Later, Frank told his friends, "I didn't want to get involved, but justice doesn't exist without taking action." His friends praised his courage, recognizing the importance of standing up for what is right. "I live, and I fight." Laura had been battling a serious illness. Despite being told by doctors that it was too late, she refused to give up. She continued to receive treatment and slowly regained her strength. Defying the odds and astonishing her doctors, her friends were moved, saying, "Your fighting spirit is truly inspiring." Laura smiled and said, "I fight to live. That is the path I have chosen." Sometimes silence is the most powerful word. During a meeting where everyone was passionately exchanging ideas, Jack sat quietly, listening carefully, while others were becoming emotional. Jack remained calm and observed the bigger picture. Suddenly, the boss asked, "Jack, what do you think?" Jack spoke calmly, saying, "We need to make sure we are all aligned on the same goal." The room fell silent as everyone realized the wisdom in his words. Jack had shown that sometimes few words can have the greatest impact. "My work is not finished. I believe in the future." Sarah was considering retirement, but she knew that her work was still needed by someone. She realized that she had valuable skills and knowledge to pass on to the next generation. Instead of retiring, she chose to mentor new employees. She told the newcomers, "What we have built is a foundation for you to create the future." Her words encouraged the young employees, and Sarah's legacy was reborn through her belief in the future. "I believe in myself, and that is everything." Lisa constantly received advice from friends and colleagues, but lacked confidence in her decisions. One day, she asked herself, "What do I truly want?" Instead of seeking others' opinions, she turned inward for answers. At that moment, Lisa found her own path. She decided to trust herself and move forward. Eventually, she launched her own business, achieving great success. Lisa realized that believing in herself was the key to everything. Sometimes, taking a step back is the greatest leap forward. Tom was always giving his all at work, but one day, he collapsed from overwork. His doctor warned him, "If you don't take some time off, things could get much worse." Tom was reluctant to step away from his duties, fearing he would fall behind. However, remembering the value of rest, Tom decided to take a break. During his time off, he gained fresh insights and perspectives, and when he returned to work, he was more efficient and productive than ever before. Taking a step back had given him the strength to leap forward. Those who never give up are the true winners. Mike had failed multiple times as an entrepreneur. His friends and family repeatedly told him, maybe it's time to give up, but Mike couldn't abandon his dream. Each failure taught him something new, and he made improvements every time. Finally, Mike's business took off, and he achieved great success. His friends were amazed, saying, "You really never gave up, did you?" Smiling, Mike responded, "Not giving up is the only way to prevent failure. Every ending is a new beginning." Emma had worked for the same company for many years, but she decided to leave and pursue new opportunities. The thought of retiring from her familiar job made her anxious, but Emma trusted in her potential and took the leap. In her new career, Emma met many wonderful people and found a fulfillment she had never experienced before. She realized Leaving wasn't the end, it was the start of a whole new adventure. Telling the truth can be frightening, but it must still be done. Justin had witnessed unethical behavior at his workplace, but he was afraid to speak up. Despite his fear, he decided to follow his conscience and report what he had seen. Some colleagues criticized him for his actions, but his courage ultimately led to positive changes within the organization. Reflecting on the experience, Justin said, "Speaking the truth takes courage, but it's necessary for doing what's right."